Berachos Daf Samach Gimel, in the Beis HaMikdash itself, they didn't say the word Amen. They would say Baruch Hashem Elikei Yisrael Min Ha'olam V'Ad Ha'olam. In the times of the Tzedukim, they added the words V'Ad Ha'olam, and they said so in every single bracha. Rava says this following pasuk you can read it front to back and back to front. Eis L'Aslois Hashem Hefer Teresecha, referring to Rishonim that are doing Averis. If they do Averis, then it's Eis L'Aslois Hashem. It's time to stick up for Hashem. Or you could say that the pasuk is referring to Tzadikim. Hefer Teresecha. There are times that you have to be over on Divrei Torah. You have to do an Avera sometimes in order for Eis L'Aslois Hashem. Says the Gemara, Hillel HaZaken would say, in a generation where people are gathering, they're not giving over Torah, you should step up and give out the Torah. And in a time where there's a lot of Torah given over, you can take a back step and be an Anav. If you see a generation that loves Torah, give it over. If they despise Torah, it's better to keep it to yourself rather than having a B'zayin Torah. But Kapara says, also referring to Torah, if you see that the price is low, gather as much as you can. If there's no men, step up and be a man. Says Abaya, if there is a man, in other words, there's a gadol that's paskening, then even if you're equal to that person in halacha, give him the right to pasken. If only for the following statement we learned the entire Masechta, it would have been worth it. Bar Kapara says, it says in the pasuk, B'chol derochecha do'ehu, v'hu yiyasher orchesecha. Meaning, in every mundane step of our daily life, we can insert HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You could eat a slice of pizza, and you mean to fill your stomach. You could take a nice nap just for your enjoyment. You could do the same exact action and just stick HaKadosh Baruch Hu into it, and you get sechar rather than not getting any sechar at all. You say, I'm eating this slice of pizza to have energy. I'm sleeping to have energy to be Oved Hashem, and that changes it all. You should teach your son an easy, clean parnasa. The Gemara gives an example, like teach him how to sew. Rebbe says it's not a good idea to have too many friends because at the end you're going to come to fight with one of them. You should not appoint a man in charge of your house, because look what happened to Eshes Potifar. She was almost over on Znus. The reason why Parshas Nazir, refraining from wine, is close to the Parsha of Saita, because the Saita was nichshal because she overdrank. And a person who sees that should say to himself, I want to refrain from wine, I want to become a Nazir. Rebbe Echlan says the reason why Parsha Saita is close to the Parsha of Trumas and Meisers, that you have to give over a tenth of everything you earn, is because if you don't, at the end of the day, you're going to have to come on to the Kayan to deal with your wife, the Saita. And you might need to come on to Meisers. You'll be so poor, you'll have to accept Meiser Ani. But if you give Meiser, you're promised that you'll become wealthy. Rebbe Elazar Kapper says if somebody has a tzara, and rather than complaining, he thanks Hashem, he says, Baruch Dayan Emes, he's promised that his parnasa will double. If a person lightens up, takes his foot off the gas pedal when it comes to learning and mitzvahs, even one mitzvah, when he needs help, when it comes to a day of tsar, he won't be able to stand up against it. Says the Gemara, an amazing story. Chanina, who was the son of the brother of Rabbi Yeshua, he was a gadol. He went to Chutz La'aretz and he had a community, and he started doing Iber Hashana. He started saying, this year we're going to have 2 others. And Allah is you only do so in Eretz Yisrael, not in Chutz La'aretz. So they sent messengers. They sent Rabbi Yossi ben Kippar and the grandson of Zechariah ben Futal, who were Meshamish in the Beis HaMikdash. Chanina was really excited. He said, what are you doing here? He said, we came to learn Torah from you. So he announced in public, he says, these 2 are G'dolei Hadar. Once they got that Haskama, everything Reb Chanina said, they said the opposite. He said Tar, they said Tameh. He said Mutter, they said Asr. He says, what are you doing? And they said, we're here because of Iber HaChodesh. And he told everybody, these guys are nobodies. They're fake. They're liars. And he says, it's too late. You can't tell that to people because you already announced that we're G'dolei Hadar. And then they told everybody, said, listen, either you come with us or you announce, you denounce HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And they told Reb Chanina, if you don't listen to us, we're going to put you in Cherem. Why were they so makpid? Because it says in the Pasuk that Iber HaChodesh is only in Eretz Yisrael, as it says, Ki mitzion teitzei Sarah, only from Yerushalayim. What kind of tumah? How are they able to say on something that's tameh that it's tar? Because they realized if they don't, people might go with Reb Chanina. When Rabbi Seinu went into Kerem B'Yavna, they went to Galus. Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Nechemia, Rabbi Eliezer, they spoke about the importance of having guests because they were guests by other people. Rabbi Yehuda, who's always the first to speak in learning, he said that the oil moed was 12 mil out of the machna, and it says, "V'chol mevakesh Hashem," anybody that yearns to see HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to be like HaKadosh Baruch Hu, would go to the oil moed. He says, "Kavachomer, if 12 mil is considered a mevakesh Hashem, so certainly Talmid Chachamim who go from city to city and from country to country, which is a lot more than 12 mil." When the pasuk says, "Panim al panim," HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe, "I would like to discuss the discourse of Torah and Halacha with you. With panim, let's be joyous with each other." And he says to Moshe Rabbeinu, "I want you to return the oil moed, and if not, it's not good that me and you should both be angry. Please return it, and if not, I'm going to have Yeshua be instead of you." And in fact, even though Moshe Rabbeinu returned it, Yeshua, it says in the pasuk, Mishares, Moshe became the Mishares. The Gemara discusses the word Haskes Ushma. Hayoim Azeni Yisalam. 40 years later, we became a nation. We were a nation 40 years ago. Says the Gemara, because every single day, Torah, it's as if it was just given today. And the Gemara says, I'll prove it to you. Because if a person says Kriya Shema every day of his life, and he misses once, it's as if he never said Kriya Shema. Because of this concept that Kriya Shema, Torah, is new to us every day. And if you don't do it, it's as if you never did it. The other pshat is Haskes. You should learn in groups of people. Do not learn by yourself. You learn by yourself, you deserve the sword. It's a chet. And it makes you dumber. Another pshat, Haskes. You should pain yourself for Torah. Rish Lakish says, the Torah doesn't stay by a person unless he kills himself over it. Another pshat, Has, means be quiet, listen first, and then ask questions. And this is one of my all-time favorites. Rava says, La'olam yilmoid odam Torah va'achar kach yegeh. First you have to know the whole Torah, and then you can delve in deeper. The pasuk says, Ki mitz chalav, whoever vomits up milk, his mother's milk, he works hard on Torah, then he'll get the butter, the cream from the top. He'll be able to paskin halachas. Umitz af yotzidam, and if your Rebbe yells at you, embarrasses you, and you don't answer, you'll be able to differentiate between dam tar and dam tameh. And if he does it a second time and you don't answer, then you'll be able to be great in dinei maminos, which the Gemara says there's nothing greater than hilchas maminos. It says in the pasuk, Im novalta bisnasei v'im zamoiso yad lepeh. If you shame yourself for Torah, at the end of the day, it's going to uplift you. And in Zomanta, if you are quiet and you don't ask questions and try to figure out the Torah, yad al peh, then when people come to ask you halachas, you'll be quiet, you won't know what to say. Have a wonderful day.